Hi everyone, I'm Kevin Nelson for Catholic Newsbreak. Here's what's happening this week in the news. We begin from the Vatican. The ad limina visits to the Vatican for bishops from the United States are underway. Cardinal Sean O'Malley led the first group of bishops from the northeastern part of the United States. While at the Vatican, the bishops will be reporting on their diocese. Catholic News Service spoke with Bishop Timothy McDonald from the Diocese of Springfield, Massachusetts, about what the visit means to him.
Bishop Timothy McDonald of Springfield, Massachusetts is in Rome this week with a group of bishops from New England for their ad limina visits. He describes the meetings as a pilgrimage.
I call it a pilgrimage because that's really what it is. It is a pilgrimage to the tombs of St. Peter and St. Paul, and it's an opportunity on that pilgrimage here in this city where both of them were martyred to meet with the successor of Peter and to realize what the sacrifices of the church through the years have been and all the great things accomplished because of the blood of martyrs is the seed of faith.
But this round of visits with the Pope is a bit different than in times past. There's a new format that features group discussions rather than one-on-one meetings with the Pope.
He asks each bishop to speak, and then he asks questions back and forth, and it's a dialogue. So in many ways, it's a great experience because we learn from each other and we learn most of all from him.
Bishop McDonald said traveling to the heart of the Universal Church made him realize how blessed his own diocese is.
We have been hit this past year with nature's fury more than once. We have had this past year, I'd say, everything but the plague of locusts and the eruption of a volcano. Nevertheless, when I hear what other dioceses are going through, I realize how blessed we really are because while we have temporary discomforts, we don't have the permanent ones that so many parts of the world have.
In other news from the Vatican, a communique from the General Secretary of the Synod of Bishops said that immigration is a big challenge for the new evangelization in North and South America. The note said that the Church is involved in the promotion of social programs and religious assistance for immigrants with the aim of helping their cultural integration and social peace. The statement was a report on a recent meeting of members of the Council responsible for monitoring how Catholics in the region are implementing ideas from the 1997 Synod of Bishops and Pope John Paul II's 1997 Apostolic Exhortation about the Synod's discussions. This recent meeting also discussed the topics and agenda planned for the next Global Synod of Bishops, which will begin in 2012 and will focus on the new evangelization. The communique surveyed the situation of the Church in the Americas. It found that there are serious difficulties faced by immigrants, but the statement said immigrants bring a greater integration of the peoples of North and South, as well as a greater understanding of the need for international cooperation and solidarity to solve global problems. In news now from around the country, the Catholic Campaign for Human Development, or CCHD, is refuting a 212-page report that says 55 agencies funded by the U.S. Bishops Anti-Poverty Program in the 2010-2011 were in conflict with church teaching. Leaders of the CCHD, including its executive director, Ralph McLeod, said the charges from an American Life League study against all but one of the agencies were unfounded. In that one case, McLeod said that funding was withdrawn from an immigrant rights group in Minnesota because it was found to be distributing condoms. The 54 remaining agencies were found in compliance after follow-up investigation by the CCHD staff. The report that was posted on the American Life League's website in October accused CCHD of promoting abortion, homosexuality, and Marxist ideology contrary to church doctrine. Director of the League's Defend the Faith Project and the report's author, Michael Hitchborn, said his research showed that the organizations violated church doctrine either through specific activities or through coalitions. The American Life League has questioned the thoroughness of CCHD's process for vetting grant applications from poverty-fighting agencies since 2008. This new report was released just weeks before the annual CCHD collection in parishes. McLeod said the charges were based on information obtained from outdated websites and that the cited agencies were not contacted for verification or were incorrect assessments of the poverty-fighting program's guidelines regarding memberships in coalitions. And in news from around the world, a recent retired bishop is considering a run for president in his native Honduras. Rome Reports has more on this story.
A Central American bishop is hoping to be the next president of Honduras. Luis Santos Villeda turned 75 in November. The Pope recently accepted his resignation since under canon law he can only serve until that very age. Even though Villeda is now a retired bishop, he remains a priest, which would prohibit him from running for office. Nonetheless, he's hoping the Pope will give him permission to start a political career.
And finally in the news, Catholic colleges and universities are being urged to strengthen their commitment to mission-based sustainability efforts. Now a new resource called Sustainability and Catholic Higher Education, a toolkit for mission integration, is there to help. Retired Bishop William Skillstad of Spokane, Washington, honorary chairman of the Catholic Coalition on Climate Change, said he hopes our Catholic colleges and universities will find it a practical and effective tool for capturing and directing the energy of so many of the young people, the Church's future, on the environment. The resource revolves around the 5 components of the Coalition's St. Francis Pledge to care for creation and the poor: pray, learn, assess, act, and advocate. It contains a toolkit which offers practical suggestions about how to identify campus leaders and implement suggestions for living each component on campus and in the larger community. 8 national Catholic organizations are co-sponsoring and promoting the resource. If you'd like more information on this initiative, you can go to www.catholicClimateCovenant.org. Well, that is all the information we have for you at this time. Please stay with Catholic TV for more Catholic news. Until then, I'm Kevin Nelson, and I'll see you next time on Catholic Newsbreak.